Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel that I've been threatening to set up for weeks, months, years. Here I am, my first video. If I'm out of focus, I'm going to be very annoyed. If my t-shirt does this throughout the whole thing, I'm also going to be very annoyed. I wanted to do a video based on my skincare regime because it's the number one thing that people ask me about on Snapchat, on Twitter, on Facebook. Don't go looking for those comments because who knows, you might not find them. But I think that people ask me a lot. So I wanted to go through the products that I use every day and that I think really help give me clear skin that's kind of glowy but not too glowy. Now, disclaimer, I do have good skin and my mom has good skin, so there is a big element of genetics there. So I'm not going to pretend that if you buy these products, you too can have skin like mine. But I do think that some of these products help because my skin definitely used to be oilier. It used to break out a lot more. I used to have kind of dry patches around here, maybe some more visible wrinkles than I feel like I do now. So I definitely think these things have helped, but they're not going to totally transform your life. So let's get started. So I don't cleanse my face every morning. I cleanse it at night, and then when I wake up, I believe that there are oils and good things happening in your skin that don't all need to be washed away. If, however, I've had a big night out the night before, I feel like there might be remnants of makeup, I will use a micellar water. The one I'm using at the moment is the Garnier Micellar Cleansing Water for sensitive skin. I find it really good, and it's great as well if you have lash extensions like I do, that you can use it on a cotton bud or some cotton pads to take off eyeliner. I don't use mascara, but like eyeliner, eyeshadow without damaging your lashes. So that's a really great buy. I think you can get it in pennies as well for super cheap. My daily skincare regimen is actually really simple. I cleanse sometimes, and then I use two products. I use an oil, so I'm using the Clinique Turnaround Revitalizing Treatment Oil. I use that instead of a serum on kind of dry, clean skin in the morning. I use one drop and I massage it in with my fingertips. It smells really nice. A little goes a long way. I think I've had that for almost a year. My only issue with the Clinique is for an expensive product, the dropper is a little bit finicky. Like mine feels a little bit like it's on the brink of breaking, and I'm not finished the oil yet, so I will be very annoyed if it does break, and hopefully that's something that they've sorted out in later iterations. After I've done my oil, I apply my moisturizer. So I have two moisturizers I choose from depending on what I'm doing for the rest of the day. If I'm wearing a lot of makeup, I will use the Lush Magical Moringa Facial Moisturizer. It's really moisturizing, it smells incredible, it feels lovely on the skin, but it also works as a primer. So it kind of mattifies the skin, takes away any excess oil, and gives a really good base for makeup. The caveat, it's about 39 quid. But I find this product as good as anything else, super expensive, super luxurious that I've tried, and a little goes such a long way. Like so many things with Lush, you only need a tiny little bit and it will last you forever. I did say that's only on the makeup days though. On the days where I'm not wearing makeup, and to be honest that's most days, or I might be wearing a really tiny bit, I will use the Origins 3-part Harmony Moisturizer. Like all things from Origins, it feels and smells incredible. All the essential oils, natural ingredients, it just feels so nice and moisturizing on the skin. I love Origins products, and this one is definitely one of the nicest that I've tried. And there's my morning routine. I don't use any eye products. I know that I probably should because I'm getting a bit older, but it's just something that hasn't really occurred to me yet, and I haven't found one that I really love for using during the day. So I just use the oil, I moisturize, and then I whack on my makeup. Then we get to the other end of the day where things get a little bit more complicated. Pretty much as soon as I get in the door, I'm taking off all of my makeup. So the first thing I do is remove it with a cleansing oil. At the moment I'm using the Shiseido Perfect Cleansing Oil. I find it really good. As you can see, there's not much left. I think it's great. I use 2 pumps into the hand, rub them together, smooth it on the face, and then I remove it with as hot as I can bear face cloth. I know that a lot of people would say not to put super hot water on your face. I haven't had any problems with it. It's really good for giving you a little bit of a foam, a little bit of a lather with the facial oil, and this takes off everything. And it's gentle enough to use on your eyes. If I didn't have my semi-permanent lashes, I would use this all over. It takes off everything, takes off waterproof mascara. It's incredible. It feels really good on the skin. After that, it's bedtime. So I have a few different things that I do. I will almost always, 90% of the time, use a moisturizer before I go to bed. So at the moment, I'm loving, again from Clinique, the Turnaround Overnight Revitalizing Moisturizer. I use this kind of like a mask, so I'll put on quite a thick for moisturizer, like, you know, quite a decent layer, and I'll leave it on overnight. As you can see, I've kind of got through a lot of that. Again, it feels really good. My skin feels really good in the morning. Sometimes if I've put on too much, it will mean that I'll use my micellar water the next day to kind of take off the excess if I feel like my skin's a little bit overloaded. Then maybe twice, 3 times, 4 times a week, I will use my Sunday Riley Artemis facial oil. This is the most expensive thing I have ever bought in terms of skincare. It was, I think, about €85. I bought it from Net-a-Porter. It smells like stale barn. It smells like straw, but it feels so good on my skin. I think this is the one product that I've ever tried that I've seen an instant noticeable difference. And there's an element of placebo where I'm going, because this was so expensive, I have to say that it feels amazing, but it honestly does feel amazing. So I use that kind of 3 times a week. I don't use it too often, A, because it's dear, and B, because I'm sure it's very heavy, so I don't want to be overloading my skin. Then as well at nighttime, I will use a lip balm. So I really like Dr. Paw Paw. I have one of these in a tinted version, a kind of a red version that I have in my handbag, but I use this at night. I just like smear it all over. Sometimes I smear it on my boyfriend. I'd practically be smearing it on the dog. It feels really, really good. I haven't had any chapped lips at all this winter, and I think it's from this guy. 100% would recommend. It's really good and just like a really nice, simple, kind of old-fashioned product that just does one thing and does it really, really, really well. Then I spoke earlier on about how I'm not using any eye creams in the morning, and I think that's because maybe I'm using my Kinvara Eye Wow. So this is a sample that I got. Kinvara is an Irish skincare brand, and I use this at night. It comes with a little cooling roller ball, it feels lovely on the skin, gives out like the right amount of product. It feels more like a serum to me than anything else, because I used to have a problem with milia around my eyes, so I didn't like to use anything too creamy or too heavy in that area because it definitely kind of tended to make me break out, but that feels really, really nice. And then last but by no means least, face masks. About once a week, I always mean to do it twice, but I'd say definitely once a week I use a face mask, and depending on how my face feels, I use a different one. So I'll use the Clinique Turnaround Revitalizing Instant Facial if my face is feeling grand. So nothing's wrong, I don't have any breakouts, I'm not feeling very dry. I'll use this and it'll just make my skin give a little bit of extra pep, make it feel a little bit more glowy. It feels really, really good. And I've used it maybe 6 or 7 times and I've barely made a dent, so that's a really good sign. Then on days where I'm feeling a little bit dry, feeling a little bit, the weather's been really cold and I feel like I need something extra, I will use my GlamGlow Thirsty Mud Hydrating Mask. So again, this is definitely an expensive product. I have a couple of expensive products. And actually, annoyingly, I get sent a lot of samples, but all of the really expensive stuff here, the GlamGlow, the Sunday Riley, the Magical Moringa by Lush, I actually bought myself, so I'm an idiot. But this guy is really nice. I put on like a substantial but not super thick layer, and then I leave it on overnight. You can wash it off if you like. I'm lazy. I like leaving it on overnight. And then if my skin is feeling a little bit sensitive, like it might have broken out, if I feel like I have a few extra blackouts, I will use the GlamGlow Youth Mud Tingle Exfoliate Treatment. Mine is a sample and it's a bit wrecked because it's quite muddy, so it kind of comes off all over the thing, all over the tube. But I've also tried the GlamGlow Super Mud, which I loved, but then I found it quite hard to get, so I do need to get my hands on that as well. But the GlamGlow, it's such a hyped product. People talk about it all the time, especially beauty junkies, and it's kind of hard to know, is it going to be worth the money? If you ask me, the ones that I've tried, yes. Now I will say, I wouldn't use the Tingle Exfoliate or the Super Mud before I was going out because it has made my face really quite red, but then I wake up the next day and it looks brilliant, it looks perfect. So I think it's kind of a temporary effect, although I did panic a little bit. So there you go, my skincare, simple, nothing especially complicated. I don't use a Korean 50-step system. I just use some products that I think are really good, do their job really well. Thank you so much for watching my video. Hopefully the next video I do, I will have shitloads of makeup on. Can I say that on YouTube? For this one, because it was about skincare, I felt like it was important to go, here's my skin. Here's what I'm talking about. Here it is. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like it. I'm going to be doing a load more videos in the next while. I'm going to be doing a vlog of my workout regime. I'm going to be doing a weekly food diary. I'm going to be doing some chats about mental health, because that's something that I talk about a lot on my social channels as well. And basically a whole lot of random stuff, and maybe you might even get to see my dog pop up in a couple. So thanks for watching, and I'll chat to you all soon.